Hey, so I guess this is part two. Look at my crusto dusto face, especially around the nose. Seborrheic dermatitis, seborrhea. Since I didn't get to have a shower since Thursday, I don't want to have to cave into a gym membership. Especially if I don't know if I'll be moving anywhere or if an opportunity might come up tomorrow. I don't know, for me to move somewhere else um, or finally get a place. But I don't want a gym membership because, I don't want a gym membership because I don't want to be forced enslaved to, paying, even if it's $10, paying for something that I'm no longer using, and then they make it like it's a contract that you can't get out of. So I better not even get into the contract in the first place. If all you gotta want to do is just exercise or take a shower or both, and then they make it like it's so important that they must hold on to your bank account and keep taking like that, like as if they own more of your bank account than you do. So that's why I'm holding off on a gym membership. I probably won't, I don't want to get one at all, but I guess if I'm desperate enough, I might end up getting one, but I'm trying to not do that. So it's good. After a while, it's going to be too cold to get to shower at the beach and stuff. But at least I won't have thousands of people looking at me. So this is part two of not just the foster family, but narcissistic abusers being holier than thou and self-righteous with their fake morality. But this will include the foster family too, more stuff like the foster mom, Adrian Felder, who they call Ann, her daughter Shelly, and Shelly's husband Brian. Back then, they used to self-righteously listen to jazz music and self-righteously listen to oldies music. You know, let's see, y'all know, like 70s and 80s music was considered the oldies. But I didn't even realize last year I was listening to certain 80s songs, even the Jacksons. I don't even know, the Jacksons weren't kids in the 80s, but they were kids before then. And Michael Jackson and his brothers or whatever, Jackson 5, sitting there singing songs about devil worship. They were kids and probably didn't know what they were saying, and definitely under mind control. But I'm like, whoa, songs about, devil worship. Like this song, I don't remember if he was one of the guys. He could be a different person, but I thought he was one of the guys from Milli Vanilli went solo, and then he died. And I didn't realize he was singing songs about worshiping the devil. I didn't even catch that until last year. I'm like, whoa, when he was saying, sign your name across my heart, I want you to be my, whatever, I don't remember all the lyrics, but I used to like that song. And then last year I realized, whoa, I can't like that or support that song no more. Talk about devil worship. Because I used to hear about Milli Vanilli being devil worshippers years ago. But it just went over my head, and I was a little kid. And I just remember that Blame It on the Rain song used to scare me and my twin sister. And every time that we used to hear Blame It on the Rain, we used to cry for whatever reason, and get scared for whatever reason, So, like, let's see. All right, y'all remember, if you're black, maybe if you're white too, a music group called Atlantic Star? Like, music similar to that. Is what the foster family would listen to. But even in the 90s, they thought they were too good and too snooty to listen to, like Aaliyah and TLC and, all those music groups like, they wouldn't listen to Jodeci or H-Town or anything like that, you know. They thought they were better because they figured their music was cleaner. But I wonder, what do they think about the music nowadays? I mean, the Foster family was even trying to control what TV shows that I should watch, and what movies, and what movies I should watch, and how many times I should watch them. Like, they had where you can only watch a movie one time. But then when I look up, they were hypocritical, because if they can watch the same movie Blade every time it comes on, if they want to watch The Matrix every time it come on, and they still not woke to the truth. I didn't even really sit down and watch The Matrix until recently. But before then, I didn't know. I mean, you know, predictive programming and stuff like that. You know, so the fake foster family. You know, if we weren't allowed to watch, you know, say if it was the 90s or 2000s, and say if I wanted to watch Romeo Must Die, I can only be restricted to watching it one time. They'd be like, how many times you watch that? And make it like as if I'm not allowed to watch it, you know. But it's okay for them to watch Lord of the Rings as many times as they want. And it's like, if I listen to the same song over and over again, they get mad at that. And I'm playing it in my own earphones. They want to aggressively demand an answer for what you listening to. What I told you about listening to that. I'm a woman in my 20s being treated like this. And then they get mad and jack my MP3 player out my hand, and then look at it and be like, how many times you gonna listen to this? And then 2 days later, they're blasting that same song out loud and singing it. Like they act like they think they own the song and don't care how horrible their voice sounds, on purpose just to make me mad. You know, I didn't realize this was part of the perping and gang stalking. You know, that people self-righteously call me greedy, fat and greedy, like your fat is better than my fat. And like you have a license to be overweight, but then you want to bully, harass, and lecture me about how I need to lose weight, and you're 200 pounds fatter than me. And you can't even, you walking around with a doggone oxygen tank and obese with heart failure, and try to bully, harass, and lecture me. And then people outsiders be like, oh, she's just looking out for your best interest. Best interest? What you mean? That person doesn't care about me. That person just set me up and lied on me and tried to get me arrested behind something really petty and stupid. So what the hell you mean that they're doing this for my own good? You know, or somebody get an attitude with me and like, oh, I'm pretty sure they're just having a bad day. Well, every time you see me is a bad day. So, you're just having a bad day. So, anyway, foster and biological family tell me not to curse. When I look up, they curse. And my twin sister and the gay brother Mark, the biological gay brother Mark, what they do is self-righteously go a meal or two without eating on purpose just to give false proof and justification that I'm greedy, or they'll pretend to fake like they lost their appetite. You know, I'm still being treated. I'm 37 years old, but I'm not in contact with not one family member. I'm my only family member who I'm in contact with myself, you know. But other family members, I'm not in contact with them. But we were grown women in our 30s, and one time I made try to be creative and make a sweet potato pie with sunflower seeds on top, of course peeled, you know, and another one with pumpkin seeds on top. and I put coconut oil in it. And my twin sister acted like she had a certain prejudice of me using coconut oil or even talking about, like I was forbidden to even talk about coconut oil and natural health and stuff. And then now she sneaked behind my back and post stuff on I don't think she uses Pinterest anymore, but whatever social media, posting about natural health techniques, But she forbid me to even talk about it. Like she would forbid me to even mention or talk about Aaliyah, but she would talk about Aaliyah with strangers and have a conversation in front of my face, and I'm forbidden to butt in. But I'm the older twin who was born first. And she thinks she can have that much control over me because her and the gay brother Mark, they just repeating and copying the foster family's abuse that happened to all of us. And I don't understand how could you repeat the same abuse that happened to you and then you go and be that certain way. I know the foster mom tried to mold us to be just like her. But then after I was living in Denton, Texas and on my own, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to buy margarine. I can buy butter if I want to. If I want to drink a Coke, I don't drink Coke by choice because, yuck. So, just stuff like that, I tried to undo being forced to like or live according to what the foster mom wanted, total control. And so like now, I feel like, okay, Candy, you don't have to buy the cheapest doggone thing on the idiots. Okay, Candy, you don't have to buy the cheapest doggone thing on the menu. If we're at a pizza restaurant or something, okay, if I don't have to have just the cheese or the pepperoni. Damn it, if I wanted barbecue chicken pizza for an extra 75 cents more, then I'm going to treat myself to something like that, just for an example. But even kids I went to school with, like this, I'm going to say it, the man being in control, punk, hoe fucker, Michael Childs, who was a narcissistic abuser and a pedophile, having sex with 17-year-old kids when he was an older adult. He sat there and tried to say, why are you going to prom? Prom ain't important. I said, well, why you get to go? And he said, because I have the privilege and the right to go. And then, like, the foster mom would buy something, but then condemn me for buying it. And Michael Childs, he did the same thing. Like Dippin' Dots ice cream. If you don't care about me, why should you care what kind of ice cream I buy? I just want to try Dippin' Dots for the first time. And so I said, well, Michael, how come you eating Dippin' Dots and tell me I shouldn't eat Dippin' Dots? You have a whole Dippin' Dots in your hand, because I can afford it. You can't. And the foster mom condemned me about cell phone and P.O. box. And I was 19 years old, and I said, well, you can have a cell phone and P.O. box. She's like, cause I can afford it. You can't. Well, bitch, you take it on my damn money. It's taking my money. She was taking a big Social Security check and leaving me with the SSI check. Neither check belonged to her. But she was stealing our money, stealing my money, stealing everybody's money, and stay rich. But it's like Romans chapters 1 and chapters 2, like the second half of Romans chapter 1 and like the beginning of chapter 2, it applies to self-righteous, hypocritical, narcissistic abusers. Also, I think it's Isaiah 65:5 about being holier than thou, and also Isaiah 64:4 talks about our righteousness are as filthy rags. So if I heard that doctors refuse to diagnose me with complex PTSD because they would expose my targeting. That's why they don't want to diagnose me with Asperger's syndrome. They're blocking me from getting diagnosed with Asperger's, even though a lot of people suspect that I have it. So I guess I was a little more detailed on people and their self-righteousness and their narcissistic abuse. So I'm going to see y'all later. Bye.